it done for a long time, and I coached other schools too, wasn't gonna get it done. We were gonna be lucky we got a first down. And people, if you talk to people that have played us, if you talk to people that are in our league, they'll talk about how fast we are. And I'm telling you right now, it's an illusion. We're not as fast as we look like we are. And that's to our benefit because we do things fast and we wear people down, and that helps us. And just to put an example too, just for the size that we are, this year we had 2 players on our team that were over 6 foot tall. One was my son, who was 6'7", and is a really good golfer. And then we also had a linebacker that was 6'1". We had another kid on the roster, but he quit the second week. We sent him off the roster, but that's what it was. Our starting fullback for the last 2 years was listed at 5'6", and he's not 5'3". He was about 125 pounds. And that's just what we were doing to get it done. But since we made the change, we've been 53-7. Of those 7 losses, 6 of those teams, I should say all 7 losses were to teams that lost at level 4 state or 1 state. So they're all quality competition, and we were just thankful to be in those games. I'm a big culture guy. I'm gonna skip through this real quickly, but I really believe in the culture. It's everything we do. It's not one thing we do that has led to our success, and part of that's because we have great assistant coaches. I have a total of 9 coaches on our varsity staff, and we're a school of 290 kids. So you're thinking, holy cow, how does he have 9 coaches? Counting myself, 4 paid positions. The rest are volunteers, and they are true volunteers. I don't pay them anything. I buy them clothes, and I'll make sure that they're taken care of at any clinic they want to go to further their knowledge. But they do it truly for free. And a lot of that, they tell me, is because of the other stuff we do. We don't produce a lot of Division III college football players, let alone anything bigger than that. We have most guys stay in the community or go to the tech school or something like that, and so we're really focused on making sure that we're having good people come through our program. And that's relevant because we spend practice time talking about this stuff. However many years ago it was, the WI said, hey, we're going to restrict how much practice time you can have. We do all of our character stuff in that restricted time. So it's not like something we do in addition to that time. But that's some of the resources we use. We really talk with our program a lot about love. We talk about loving each other. We talk about loving their family. We talk about the love as coaches we have for the players. And it really, we found, makes a toughness in our football team that really can't compete with anything else. Because they just love each other, and they want to do everything they can for each other. And they will still try and tackle you or make a block if they have an arm broken or something else because they just love each other so much. And we also have a put up or shut up mentality, which basically means you don't criticize anyone. And that might sound like it's tough. It was at first for my coaches, but we only say positive things. Now we might say, hey, we need better effort on that, but we don't ever be sarcastic, try and rip people down. It's all about how we can get better, what they can do next time, and learn from that. And that also is a big thing. Now I'll tell you, it's not always easy. We've got kids that come through, we've got classes that come through that fight us at times on this kind of stuff. But we control the time when they're at practice, and we control what we spend our time on. If they want to spend all practice fighting with us on this and doing punishment type things because they don't agree with us, then we'll spend practice time doing that. All right. So over the last 5 years, we've gone to a fast-paced no huddle. We want to go as fast as we can. The officials will let us. We're a multiple offense. We always trade back and forth. Whenever we change formations or change up things, it slows us down. So we really have about 3 formations we do most of our stuff out of. We probably spend about 80% of our time in 1 formation. And that's simply because we don't want to take time moving around the field. Our team is very much built on defense. We've always believed, in all my 13 years there, that if they don't score, they can't win. And 5 years ago, I mentioned that. Now, over these 5 years, these are actually our numbers from this past season. How many yards per game, how many points per game. We actually have been consistently between 320 and 361 yards per game over the last 5 years, and between 34 and 37.3 points per game. And I say this with the understanding that those numbers are kind of skewed because I have really good assistant coaches and our special teams are good. Our kick return is very good. We get the ball on the 10-yard line at times. Our punt return is very good. We move field position with our special teams. So we play on short fields in a lot of games. So understand that those numbers are with that in mind as well. The time possession really, truly means nothing to us. We had this year, I don't have the exact numbers, but this year, if you looked at our playoff, our level 1, 2, 3, and 4 playoff games, I think in our 1, 2, and 3 level games, we had about maybe 6 minutes of offense. We played a lot of defense, but hey, that's what we have our faith in. It's what we believe in, and we're not afraid to have them on the field. And our guys are in shape, and it's not because we do a lot of conditioning, it's because of how we practice that our guys are in shape. And they like the challenge. They really, really like it. And the best part about this is the mentality our kids have, the mindset they have, that they never feel they're in a situation they can't overcome. They know they can score quickly, they can score a lot, and things happen in a hurry. Now, this presentation is on installation and practice planning. And I want to make sure you understand, when we made the change, I always loved the offense that I used to have, and we still have it in our plays. We do some of that stuff. But everything was really, really wordy, and it explained everything our kids needed to know. Everything you needed to know about your responsibility was in that play call. And for example, if it was 24 blast, blast, and our fullback was going to lead on the linebacker, it meant that we were going to have our our four-back go through the two-hole, and it was all simple, right? Everybody, it's easy stuff. The problem was, we as coaches realized that it was easy to us, but our kids didn't get that. For example, 24 blast or 23 blast were the exact same play, just mirrored of each other, but we realized to our kids they were a completely different football play. There was no connection. And that was really from having conversations with our players and kind of some things we realized. So we got rid of all those rules. And I was someone that I always told our assistant coaches we wouldn't put it in the playbook if we couldn't have it true to our rules, so I knew how to call it. And we threw that all out because that's not how today's kids learn. They all play Madden and they play NCAA, and they have read option weak, they have wide receiver screen, they have Z-spot. Those are the plays they don't, spacing. They're all separate, compartmentalized plays, and that's how they learn stuff now. So we decided to stop fighting them with that and to make that change. So for example, this is a real thing. We used to have, part of our quick passing game was 1, 2, 2, 1 quick, and it told us everything you need to know, from the quarterback to the lineman, everything you need to know on that. And we realized that we're just going to call it blackjack. And we're calling it blackjack because it's 21. And our kids, when we said that, they're like, oh yeah, good, blackjack, boom, that's what it is. And they go with that. And it doesn't matter what the formation is because, like some of the previous guys talked about, almost our entire passing game is concept-based. So the formation doesn't have it. We have rules. They learn it as blackjack. We're constantly changing the formation so that we get away from the, if I'm here, I have this route. No, it's where are you? Everyone, we have 3 on this side, 4 on this side, 2 on this side, 1 on this side. This is how it works. And they've done a lot better. And the thing is, our kids told us that they like it and actually understand it now. And that was the big thing. So that if our players understand what we're doing. And I'll tell you, it was a tough pill for me to swallow because our offense was easy to understand. It made total sense. And it just didn't to the kids. Okay, so we changed it. The advantage of that, the team learns faster because they're having fun. They're not having all these foreign concepts. And also, we can play calls a lot faster. We can play things a lot faster with a single word or concept. For example, if I just say blackjack, that's it. Now, because we have really, really good teams we play against, we can't stand there and call something blackjack. But what we do is we have kind of a menu of stuff that guys will say. For example, we have another concept that the guys call sevens. Now, there is no reason in the world why that should be called sevens on anything I've historically done. Except one day the kid said, hey coach, can we call that sevens? And I go, whatever, we'll go with it. And then I just had to learn that. But what we really call that bigger is it's our casino concept. So our kids, we'll come up and our kids will tell the defense what they're going to run. Every play, they'll tell the defense what they're going to run. Because I don't want the QB just learning the offense, I want everybody learning the offense. But they'll say it. They'll say the cadence, they'll say the formation, they'll say the play, they'll say if there's motion. And they do it before every snap. And it's kind of ridiculous to think that we do that, but they do it really, really fast, and it takes a lot of mental stress on the kids they're playing against to recognize those kind of things. But anyway, they'll do that. And like I was saying, that sevens, it's our casino concept. So our kids, as the season goes on, they're not going to come out and say seven. They're going to come out and they might say slots. They might say roulette. They might say some other casino game. And then they think they're being really cool and clever, so they have fun, and it makes them more to it. And I do have to remind them that they have to change it, because they are creatures of habit, and they do want to say the same thing every single time. But it's worked well. We use wristbands, we also signal, and we tried the picture play calling, and I didn't like it, and we've done a lot, and we really use wristbands or signals the most. And at the end of this, I'll show you what a wristband looks like. And it's really important as to how we teach it and how we progress through our whole teaching of our offense. But we want to wean them off of that and signal as quickly as we can. Because here's the thing, it's really cool to go up-tempo, and a lot of people say, hey, can you send me a copy of your wristband? I'm going to say, no, I'm not. And it's not because it's some top secret thing I don't want to share. It's because you'll get frustrated as heck with it. Because it doesn't matter how you call it. What really matters if you're trying to go fast is how you can get the information from here to the 11 guys in the field. And it has to work for you, number one. Your play caller has to be able to convey that. The wristband works for us. The signals works for us. And really, like I said before, it's how our athletes learn now, and it's just a good thing.